Hey guys, so in this video we're going to learn how to connect HTML to CSS and JavaScript. We're going to be creating a simple little website here on the right. We're going to have this nice little structure. We're going to have a couple styling points, and then last but not least we're going to have a function attached to this button here which changes the color. Let's go ahead, jump right in, and get started. Alright, let's go ahead and get started, but before we do, make sure to like and subscribe so I can keep making these videos. Awesome, thank you. Let's go ahead. First thing we're doing is of course opening up the folder that you want to start creating your project in. I'm just using one simply called HTML_CSS_Java. Awesome. Now we're going to be adding a new file here for our HTML. Let's go ahead and add index.html. Go ahead and create that. Hold down Shift 1 to get exclamation point, Tab to create it. Perfect. Now we're going to be adding a couple things in here, starting off in the body right over here. We're going to go ahead and add a div real quick. So let's go ahead, add that div, open it up. In that opening tag of the div, we're going to go ahead and give it an ID, and I'm going to go ahead and give it an ID of main-div. Awesome. Inside of that div, we're going to add some things. First one is going to be an H1, and this is going to be for our title. I'm just going to say how to connect HTML, comma, CSS, comma, and JavaScript. Perfect. All right, below that, we're going to go ahead and create another div now. This is going to be for the button. So let's go ahead, add that div, open it up. In the opening tag of the button, we're going to give it a class to help identify it. So a class. We're going to go ahead and call this press-me-b for button. Perfect, just like that. Now inside of this div, we're going to also add a button tag. So let's go ahead and add that. Add button, close it out, open it up. All right, inside of there, simply enough, we're going to put press me exclamation point. Awesome. Go ahead in the opening tag of the button now. We're going to go ahead and add an on click. Let's add the on click. Inside those two quotes, we're going to add the name of the function we're going to create later. It's just going to be called press button. Give it some empty parentheses, just like that. Awesome. All right, go ahead and Control S to save that. I have an extension that's reformatting it. It's called the Prettier extension. It's the one right over here. I'm also using vscode icons and then live preview as well. These are really good if you're web developing. I highly recommend them. Awesome. So I'm going to go back over here. Let's continue now. Now that we got our HTML code, now we need to add the actual links. But before we do that, we need to add the new files. So let's go ahead and add them right over here. We're going to be adding one called style. That's going to be for our CSS one. We'll do .css. There you go. Perfect. We're also going to add another one. Call this one script.js for JavaScript. Awesome. Let's go back into our index.html. So the first thing we're going to do right underneath the title, we're going to add a link. Go ahead and add that. It should give you one tag with a rel of style sheet. That's because we're using that type. We're also have an href, which is where the location is. To find it, we're going to simply do a / to go back one section in our directory right up here, and then we can select the one we want. We know that our style one is this one right here, so go ahead and select that. Awesome. Now we need to link the JavaScript one. Best place to put it is right underneath the body, right over here. I'm going to go ahead and add script. Close that out. In the opening tag though, we're going to have to link it with source, so src. Inside the quotes, we're going to simply put the / and then of course the script.js. Awesome. All right, make sure you have that in there. Control S to save. Perfect. So far so good. All right, let's go ahead and continue on to the style now. So we're going to be working in the style.css. So go ahead and select it. All right, so we're going to be adding a couple things in here. We're going to start off with the ID one that we have. So I'm going to start off with a hashtag because that resembles an ID type. I'm going to do main-div because that's our one ID. Perfect. Open that up. Simply enough, we're going to do a background color for this one, and I'm going to make this aqua. Awesome. Below that, I'm simply going to go ahead and just give it some padding. I'm going to do 15 pixels for that, just to keep it simple. Awesome. All right, to go ahead and view our current changes, you have to save it, of course. And then if you have the preview, all you have to do is select the index file that you're working on, or HTML. Hit the preview button right here. Perfect. The alternative way you can do as well, if you don't have this preview, you can go ahead and right-click and copy the path and paste it on your browser. Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and continue though. Go back into the style.css. All right, so underneath here, simply enough, we're going to do h1. Now this is going to select all the H1s because we're not specifying an ID or a class. So let's go ahead and add the text align. And I'm going to go ahead and just make that center. Perfect. I'm going to save the changes for that. Now below that, I'm going to do a class one this time, which is just resembled by a period, just like that. Awesome. This one was the press-me-b for button. Let's go ahead and open that up. Simply enough, I'm going to go ahead and just move this in the middle. To do that, we're going to do a text align, make that center. We're also going to give it a margin of auto, and we're also going to go ahead and give it a width of 50%, which will just help it center it out evenly. Awesome. Go ahead now. There you go. Looks good. All right, so that's it for the CSS part. Let's try the JavaScript part now. If you remember, we already created the function name, which was press capital B button. So let's go ahead and create that. Simply enough, on line 1, I'm going to type in function press capital B button, give it some empty parentheses, open that up with some curly brackets. Awesome. Now what we're going to be doing is, of course, accessing the background color here and changing it on click. So let's go ahead and do that, which is going to be lowercase document, because it's going to search everything in the document. And then we're going to do a get element by ID, which will search all the elements by this specific ID that we're passing in. I'm going to go ahead and use the ID now, which is main div. Awesome. Now that we have the element, we need to change what we want, which is going to be the style. And I want to do the style.background color. The background color and all these different style names are going to be a little different than the style.css ones, so be wary of that. Then, now that we have this, we're going to go ahead and equal it to a new color. I'm going to do orange, just like that, and the whole thing with a semicolon. Awesome. Go ahead and save that. Make sure you have all that down. The document.getElementById, double quotes, main-div.style.backgroundcolor equals orange. Awesome. Now go ahead and try it out, and it should turn orange. Awesome. All right, congratulations if you made it this far. I will see you next time. Hey guys, if you're enjoying this video and serious about becoming a developer, you should totally consider joining Red Fools Academy. Once you sign up, you will get full access to all of our premium courses, support from myself and the Red Fools Studio team. Our courses include full stack website development, app development, game development, and many more to come. On your first sign up, you get a free 7 days to try it all out. A link will be added to the description, or you can go to the official website at redfoolstudio.com. See you in the lectures.